Hey everyone, this is Vickerman, and today I'm coming to you with Kings and Heroes. It is an early access sort of RPG action dungeon crawler sort of deal. Um, Not in the traditional ARPG sense, but I suppose it kind of would be. But the difference is that it's in first person, so that's kind of interesting. So it sort of has a Elder Scrolls sort of feel to it. So we are going to be starting out. Remember that this is early access, and you'll see that, to me at least, feels like this is pretty early on as far as in development. Um, so if you are not wanting to play in early access, um, don't get this yet. But you may want to keep it on your radar if you like the idea. First thing I noticed was Industry Games there, the company that's making this. I think that's a really cool design for a logo. And this is a nifty sequence as well. So this is character creation. And as you can see, we got 5 classes. We got champions, which is a warrior. Cleric is a healer. Wizard, obviously. A rogue, as you might expect. And a ranger is ranged combat. Played a bit with the wizard. And I think I'm going to try something melee just to change things up from that. I think maybe we'll go into the wizard later and you'll kind of see some of the well, the issue that I had with it, that maybe melee is better. We'll see how that goes. So we've got races here. We got humans, dwarves, elves, halflings, orcs, and goblins. And they do have stat changes. So you do want to keep in mind. So we've got strength and dexterity are the primary stats for warriors. I don't think anyone has those starting out, so we'll just go with an orc. Now this as far as the rolling for the stats, I've never really liked rolling the stats. But this is particularly irritating because you hit this button and it rolls them all, right? Which, that's not terrible, but it rolls them all, and the only thing I can do now is roll the entire thing again. So I feel like every time you start a new character, you're going to be fiddling about here until you get a really good set of stats, which honestly, this is okay. I don't want to sit here hitting that button over and over and over again. So what I would have preferred to see is if you can roll, you get a number off the 20-sided die. Well, I guess 18, that would be 3 6-sided dice, correct? Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Because a minimum of 3. That's what we've got going on. If it was 1 1 1, it would be 3. If it's 6 6 6, be 18. So what I would prefer is if you make a roll, you can then choose which stat that goes to, so that then you can, have dump stats like wisdom here, which is honestly one we would pick here because it doesn't seem to have much in the way of value for a warrior. I would prefer to have it that way so we didn't have to sit here and hit the button over and over again, so we can make sure our best roll goes on our primary stat and that sort of thing. So we will go with that. And we've got standard D&D style alignment. She has commentary about each one, which I kind of like. Chaotic neutral. We have lawful evil. Neutral evil is all about self-preservation. just utter chaos here.
Many begin lawful and good, but end up someplace else. You are guided by higher principles and sound judgment. In many instances, the end does not justify the means.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Value law above all else often miss the bigger picture. At least there is a method to your madness.
How about chaotic neutral? That makes sense.
Great adventures await you.
All right, here we are. Now we actually make our little orc fella. We'll name this orc Borgoose. Yes. And this is kind of odd here. Guess there's many different males? I don't know. They all look like dudes to me. Height. Do something like that. Ooh, a red-skinned orc. I do like the facial hair in this game. I made a goblin before, and that was pretty cool looking too. This is basically face paint. We won't do that. And yeah, let's just go with that. Alright, sword and board it is. So let's see how this goes. When I loaded it before, the first bit seemed like the game wasn't going to run very well, but then it evened out. So let's see if it does that again. Somewhat long initial load, but doesn't seem like the other transitions are nearly as much, so it must be putting a lot into memory right now, so it doesn't have to do it later. Alright, yep, it kind of looks like we're frozen here. And that, I've seen that a couple times. Barrels just kind of explode when you're loading in. I don't know if it's spawning the barrels before the ground and then it drops them. Very weird. Okay. I don't think we're in yet. The chat window works. Well, this is not going particularly well. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to turn it off and then we'll load back in and see if it goes. Okay, well, it would appear that I was just impatient. It did the same thing when I tried again, but if I waited, I actually walked away for a little bit, came back. And it completely, and by a little bit I mean like 1 minute. And then it came in and it took a little while to load all my stuff. I don't know if there's just a server load issue going on right now or what, because I didn't have that problem before. But anyway, here we are in Kings and Heroes, and we are what did I name him? Borgas. All right. Here we are. We've got weapon sets. You can have 3. Then we have abilities. You start with these. They're all assigned really, except for potions, which we'll want that there on the hotbar for sure. So we've got charge. Charge in combat, closing the distance to a target instantly, taunting them. I think there's supposed to be an and there. Again becomes stone, greatly reducing damage taken. Lesser heal, heal your target for a small amount of health. That's interesting that I have healing. There's our stats. We got basic equipment. And yeah, so this is basically what I have figured. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Alright, so for now, apparently there is going to be an open world in this game when it's completed, but for now, the only way you can really play that I've found is to either join or create a dungeon run. And yeah, this is sort of a dungeon crawler in like the very, very classic sense. So we queue up for a dungeon here, and from what I understand, it is randomly generated. That's what it seems like it's doing. So there's apparently PvP as well, and that's a different table. Yeah, I've gone into that. It was very strange. I queued up for it, but I don't think there was anyone else doing so at the time, so it just sent me into a match by myself. Uh-oh. Well, there we go. Fatal error. I guess I'm gonna have to try recording this some other time. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay. Coming back, it looks like we're good, so I think it was a temporary issue that has been resolved as of now. But again, keep in mind, we are playing an early access version, and such things tend to happen. So here we are in a dungeon that I created. It's supposed to be an easy dungeon, small one. And this appears to be the main loop of the game as it creates these dungeons. And they should be procedural. They certainly look different than the last time I was in this type of dungeon. So, yes, we've got our moves here. Go back here, familiarize myself once again. Charge, of course, skin of stone, and a heal. Okie dokie. That's cool. Oops, there we go. Alright. Let's try this out, huh? Oh, geesh. Well, that was that. I was wondering if that was just that the wizard does that, but it appears that everyone is that weak when you first start. Yeah, so I don't know. The early game balancing definitely needs some work here. But I think once we get a little bit of experience here and some levels, yeah, and this is kind of annoying. It just kicks you all the way back out. And you spawn like randomly in town. Very odd indeed. So let me try that again. Alright, here we go. Okie dokie. Hopefully we don't get crushed too quickly again. Oh my. This game looks really nice, I think. Man. This is odd. I've never seen this. Be seeing you. Well, let's try the cave. I had a little bit better success there. I mean, it seems like... I mean, the wizard was one hit, you were dead. That's how that was. This isn't quite like that, but you're very, very quick to die here. Alright, we're back to it. You're supposed to be able to do these on your own. Let's see if the cave does any better for us. At least we'll have a little bit better manageable groups, I would think. Yikes, 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 yikes. Yeah, that about does it there. Okay, well, let me log out real quick. We'll hop over to the wizard and show you a little bit of that as well. Honestly, I'm not very skilled at this, but I'm wondering if the balancing is not there. So we'll try the wizard here, and basically what appears to be happening is that the game does not use any mana yet. So it seems like the wizard can just like destroy everything. You know, obviously most things kill me in one hit. But sure, we'll see what happens if we join a group here. Did that work? Suppose not. Alright, so I'll show you a little bit about this wizard class. Torch. Oh, okay, I see. So, I actually have Fireball and Cone of Fire on left and right mouse button. So we don't ever actually use the staff. It is literally just a stat stick. So I can cast a light. I'm not sure why. And this is like a flame shield. I mean, if it looks like everything is dying in one hit, I think that's exactly what's happening. And it even does that on level 1. I'm like a level 5 or something, but... So yeah, definitely some balancing that needs to go on, I think. Because I don't know that it quite works to just have everything be a one-hit kill here. We can do this too. Magic missiles. Like literally magic missiles. They will home in. So this is basically what we've got going on. I mean, there's a boss at the end who's way harder than any of these guys. And I think the bosses there's probably set ones and they're randomized each time. Which one you get, that's what it seems like would be the case, given the way I saw the boss the last time. It wasn't necessarily tied to this map, but he seemed to be a specific person. The flame shield makes it kind of hard to see down. You can't really see at all when you're looking down. What the heck? Is it a special wizard jump? Quite confused. And the map doesn't work here. So I think we're probably going to call it at this point. As you can tell, this game needs a lot of work before it's ready to go. But I mean, I think that this first-person combat thing, and especially the sort of action focus and being able to put like fireballs on your right or your mouse buttons and that kind of thing. I think it's got promise here. A first-person ARPG is what I would refer to it as. And yeah, so I would certainly not recommend that you buy this now in the early access, but keep an eye on it if this sort of thing interests you. I imagine multiplayer would be pretty cool too. But I don't really feel like just jumping into a random group while I'm recording. That just feels a little strange. But yeah, keep an eye on it, and when we get closer to release here, I will probably revisit this to see where they've come. And so keep an eye on my channel if you want to see if I've sort of changed my mind about if you should get it once it gets closer to full release. But as you can see, there's I don't know, I think the core action is good once they flesh out the world and maybe do some combat rebalancing, that sort of thing. We could have a pretty cool game on our hands here. And it just feels pretty good. Even though basically direct hits are killing these guys in one hit, I'm pretty bad at aiming, to be honest. But I do like the responsiveness, high speed, that sort of thing. Is this a boss? I think it might be. Let's see if we can't clear everybody around. Yep. Yikes. Run. Alright. Almost there. Yes. Did it. What have you got? Alright, so is that the end then? Don't know how to transport back to town, to be honest. Well, cool. We'll call it here and come back to revisit this another time. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you think you might be interested once this game gets a bit more polish. And of course, check back for the other stuff that I'm up to all the time here on the channel. And we'll see you next time.